The Watcher's Tale, Part 3, Dark Side of the Moon. Atheria got into her car, turned on the engine, and drove away from the house Liz had taken her to a while ago. While she was driving down the long gravel driveway, she turned on some music to help her and her thoughts. She flipped through the Spotify and came to one of her favorite bands, Pink Floyd. Hitting play, she turned up the volume, started to get lost in the melodic melody. Life had been hard since the swift and violent split with Eloheim. Emotion ran deep, and the days and tears marked her anger, depression, hope, assurance, and love. She could still feel him, his emotions, his love, power, and hear his whispers. The connection was strong. Also, was getting stronger. At times, that made things easier to handle. At other times, it made everything more difficult. She wanted nothing more than to be with him, to regain what they had. Yet Atheria knew that would have to wait. As painful as that was, they would have to wait. There was a war waging, a war that took them all by surprise, an evil darkness that had waited patiently to strike. She felt the evil move through the cabin that night, and when it exploded in waves of heated energy, it scared her to her soul. Looking back on it, there was a familiarity to the darkness she couldn't explain, nor could she put her finger on it. But it was there, in the back of her mind, gnawing at her. As she was thinking on that, her phone went off, interrupting her music. It was her sister-in-law, Jen. Atheria pressed the green phone icon. Hello? Hey, just to let you know, Ken and I picked up Sabrina. We are almost at the house. Atheria closed her eyes for a brief moment. She knew that the connection between Eloheim and Sabrina was extremely strong, and the relationship was just as strong. It couldn't have been easy for either of them when Jen came to bring Sabrina to her. How is she doing? Atheria asked. Jen replied, We need to talk about that. Have you experienced anything strange or any physical pain because of the separation? Atheria thought about it. Actually, some. Yes, why? Atheria could hear Jen's deep breath. Eloheim went through an episode, and he said it was an effect of the separation. He didn't look too good. He is still the warrior we both know him to be. Atheria smiled. No matter the enemy or mountain to climb, her love always met them head on, which is one of the things that she loved most about him. The memories continued to fill her mind, bringing more tears to her eyes. Though she loved him, wanted him, needed to hear his words of reassurance, Atheria knew that there was much work to be done on her end. Like Eloheim, they were split to follow different roads she knew would later join again. She had to lean on hope, but she also needed to follow the road without him physically. Atheria was strong, and Eloheim knew this about her, one of the reasons he loved her so much. Turning down a street, she continued driving and planning her next steps. They would be hard and filled with trials and tribulations, but she knew in her heart they would be worth it, to finally be free. As she drove, she let the music flow over her. She was lost in thought. But all of a sudden, the music turned to static, and the lights on the dashboard blinked uncontrollably. The engine of the car sputtered and died, causing the car to come to a slow stop. What the hell? Atheria said. Before she could try and figure out what was happening, she felt a cold chill come over her. She looked up and saw a man standing in the middle of the road, wearing all black. Atheria saw his lips move and heard his voice in her mind. It's time to come home. The words filled her with dread. She knew that voice. Why can't you just leave me alone? Let me be free, she asked out loud in a pleading tone. The dark figure in the street just grinned and vanished, yet his voice remained echoing in her mind. You'll come home and obey, or I'll destroy everything and anyone you've loved. Atheria was used to his threats, but there was something different in his tone, more sinister. She believed him, but she wasn't going to comply, not this time, not again. She had lost so much. She was not going to allow him or anyone take away what she loved or what she and Eloheim have built together. There was work to be done. It wouldn't be easy, and the thought killed her to think about it. She'll have to go dark, silence, even muting part of the connection she had with Elohim. She would leave enough open to make sure he was okay, and to allow him to feel her and to know the same. Fighting back her tears, a calming resolve came over her. It was time to finally grab and take her freedom back. And for good. The end.